Hey guys, we are back here at Sawmill Ridge Heritage Farm, and I'm excited that today we actually were able to drive the skid loader into the first floor of the barn. We started out by moving the posts out, so we had stacked up a bunch of the wood that we're hoping to salvage, and we just needed to move that out of the way so that we could start leveling the earth and just getting in there. And
thanks.
If you remember from the first couple videos, the way that the barn used to be set up, there were different bays and then raised walkways in between those. So our first order of business is that we have to cut off those beams that they had.
Well, no, they were hand-hewn logs that they didn't really pour a foundation underneath. They laid some stone and then put these
hand-hewn
horizontal logs in order to affix other timbers, in a vertical fashion. So
those have been laying in the dirt for so many years. They were rotted away, still amazingly super heavy. Even there's so much rot to them, but they are still just extremely heavy for us to carry out. It's amazing.
I can't imagine the men that would have put that stuff in from new. It's insane.
Each walkway had poured concrete on it that needed to be taken out kind of in slabs.
Well, because it was just random, like, okay, let's dump a wheelbarrow load here, or 3 wheelbarrow loads over there, or let's bust open 4 bags of ready mix and, take the garden hose to it over here. Like, It was crazy random.
It was, and some of it really deep and other areas not, and here's today's treasure. Old Horseshoe. Look how thick that is.
Some of the slabs were that big and thick. I'd lift them up with the cat bucket and drop them, and they wouldn't break. Some of them did, but some of them, man, I mean, big and strong, heavy, like big hunks of concrete.
Yeah. So we have some organized pallets full of posts now that we're hoping to find a way to salvage that. We want to see it have new life because, like I said, even the stuff that is so rotten, that wood is so dense. Those trees grew hundreds of years before they ever chopped it down.
Well, yeah, and the end of it might be rotten, but the 6 or 8 feet on the top of it are like still super dense and super strong. It's crazy.
Yeah. So we got that stuff kind of all organized and stacked up. We took the planks and things and sorted those kind of back over in their own area, and then just really leveling the earth. We want it to be leveled out almost. I think we're to the point where we need a blank slate. So it's hard to imagine the next thing until we have a blank slate to work with.
And it's hard in the barn because these raised walkways and then some of the bays were really, I'm gonna say eat down, not eaten literally, but like the animals had trampled it and the poop had been scooped out, and every time they'd take a little soil and a little more soil, and all of a sudden it was really low belly here and a real high raised walkway over there. And to take the skid loader in there, I mean, I don't have the best view for grade, but I mean, I'm fair, but it's hard because it's such a crazy amount of elevation change in such a short amount of area. I mean,
yeah. Well, and especially you have a roof above you. You have these posts around you. There's a lot of paying attention you're doing, and I'm trying to help you the best I can to be your spotter. And
it's not bad till you run underneath one of those angled support braces that they have put in.
We were really getting going, and then a huge storm blew in. We saw it in the distance, and it was like, okay, we gotta get the rest of our equipment out of the weather. And before we knew it, it was just pouring down rain. So the cool thing was, as it was getting ready to pour down rain, we got to move our equipment inside. Mm-hmm. So this is the first time that the barn has been clear enough to have an area, a bay, to move things inside out of the weather.
Cat got to sleep on the roof.
To have a huge barn like this and not be able to keep anything inside yet has been kind of crazy, you know. So we're getting there. So I think the next steps are more of this. We're just going to continue to level. We've hit the first 2 bays here, obviously not back by the stone foundation wall yet, but I think we're going to move more down the barn.
Well, we've got to get that grapple bucket in, because there's a couple bigger rocks that are not in our way, but kind of in our way, that, you know, we want to keep moving on. So
yeah, it's actually a little overwhelming there, because if you remember, that's where the ceiling came down for them to redo the floor joists. So when they when they went in to find out if they needed to redo those, they pulled down that ceiling, and so there's just a ton of material there we've got to clean up. And that's really, I want to get that done before they come back to redo those floor joists, so that they have a clean area to work. So there's a ton of work there left to do, but we're getting there. Slowly but sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we'll keep tuning in. We got more to come for this beautiful barn in Sawmill Ridge.
See you next time.
Thanks for watching.